Hey, welcome back everybody. I'm Lou, and this is Metal Lens Reviews. Welcome to my channel. If this happens to be your first time here, checking it out, you like what you see, thank you. Please do me that favor of like, comment, subscribe. As I mentioned before, it really helps me grow the channel, spread it to the masses, and of course motivates me to provide you guys more content to watch. Alright, so no reaction today. I'm going to be doing my Real Talk segment, my podcast, if you will. It's been a while. And it's not that I ran out of stuff to talk about. It's just trying to, gather my thoughts and actually present something interesting instead of me just rambling. Which, if I'm honest, is probably what it's going to be about. A whole lot of talking. Maybe some recent events. Nothing too boring, though. We'll, go into long segments about how I feel and my feelings and all that stuff. But, I don't know. It might get personal. Who knows? Alright. So the elections are over, right? And a lot of you are unhappy with that. Some are thrilled, some are doing backflips, and some are planning to move out of the country. I'm kind of split down the middle. I used to be about politics. If you look over at my wall over here, I have a picture of Che Guevara and a crucifix. That's probably very confusing to some people. One being a communist revolutionary and the other Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So, that's just part of the wall. My point is, I don't care. I used to care, but you gotta say to yourself, when's the last time an election really affected your day-to-day life, okay? I mean, if you're a political activist, very personal, you feel like you lost some rights or whatever, then by all means, express your opinions. Don't create violence, just express it, like how I'm doing it, I don't know, nothing except really the public transportation of the city I live in has really, made a difference in my life, where I have to dish out more. I mean, the groceries went up, sure, but I mean, who are we really going to blame our leadership on that? I don't know. So yeah, I just can't really get passionate about who we choose as a leader. I mean, no one has got me excited. I haven't really invested time, and I mean, honestly, when you're a working class dude, or anybody working class, it's business as usual, whoever benefits from the victor, that's life. Whoever feels like they lost out, you just gotta kind of move on. You gotta worry about yourself, your family, and, stuff that keeps you motivated. Because at the end of the day, you are the drive. You have to somehow get up early in the morning, if that's your work schedule, or, I don't know, survive, because the world we live in is very unforgiving, and, the light at the end of the tunnel is pretty far, but it's there, I promise. Hey, I mean, if you own your own business, if you're an entrepreneur, good for you, but not everyone could achieve that kind of stuff. I hear that a lot. A lot of people, starting businesses. I don't mean mom and pop businesses. Just, recent, these venture capitalists who somehow inherit a lot of money, or they work for it, or whatever. You should never really down anybody, especially if you reach a level of fame or, riches or whatever. You should never, crush the little people. I think this is why, in today's world, there's that divide still. You would think after all this time, especially after COVID, people would find a common ground, but now, in not just the political world, but regular civilian, regular society, there's a huge class divide. You can't really argue that point. And I'm not trying to get, the bourgeoisie and, proletariat. I'm not trying to say stuff like that, no, there's no manifesto here. There is a divide. Rich people will kind of always be rich, and working class will just kind of stay that way unless they hit the lottery, or, I don't know, make it big, or come up with the next invention is. So wherever you're doing right now, that you feel good about. You get up early, you're supporting your family. Good for you. You're doing great. I don't know. You want to go to school, get education, whatever. That too, I feel like is misleading too, because I mean, honestly, I know about a handful of people that got college degrees and they're, I don't know, they're management at like Best Buy or Acme or whatever, or they're a mail clerk at an office building. See what I mean? It's, and not to sound cliche, but it's, when you fill out an application, what happens, right? If you got a bunch of certificates and degrees, what do they tell you, right? You're overqualified. If you don't have the experience, what do they say? Sorry, and just not what we're looking for. And now you have student debt, you got loans to pay. See what I mean? It's a vicious cycle. So if you're making it by and you want to do a little more, then, I don't know, sell stuff, get rid of junk, you have laying around the house, be creative, we're fortunate enough to have platforms like this, or Instagram, or however else you can make money online. If you're a writer, maybe it's time to, find some, writing program and write a book, write your autobiography. If you feel like you have a lot to say, your life is very interesting, tell the world. It might pick up. If you have stories to tell, turn them into feature films. Be your own director, God, if I could go back, yeah, I would have definitely pursued some career in filmmaking. If you're a musician, go for it, dedicate yourself. A lot of distractions in life when you decide to settle down, so it's a little harder to achieve. I'm not saying it's impossible, but when you have a family, you got to worry about that too. It's responsibilities, and I don't want to use that as an excuse to keep you back from your dreams and goals. I know a lot of working class people, single moms, single dads, that somehow find a way. Life finds a way, and you dig yourself out of that hole. And if you're striving toward that, but don't ever put, if you do somehow reach at the top, don't, criticize the people at the bottom. Maybe they're fine. You don't know. Everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own way of going about life and succeeding. And, maybe they're just doing fine. It might not look it, but deep down inside, they know what they're doing. So, there's that. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, I probably sound like a broken record, so I'm sorry, but the dating world out there, God, man, it's like a rat race. So, I just found out, hear me on this, even if you travel the lengths of your city, the outskirts, and, new ventures, different places, whatever, put yourself out there, you're still not going to get any bites. Maybe, if you're the loudest person in the room, maybe. Because let me tell you something, I don't know, I stand out like a sore thumb when I go to certain places. I just don't fit in. I have a very weird style, or maybe I don't know, maybe I'm going to the wrong bars, but I'm not a club guy. It's, and I have anxiety, so, crowded places sometimes kind of freak me out. What I'm getting at, though, is trying to meet someone. The whole bar scene, it's a gamble. You might get lucky, you might not, even in the newer places, because now it's even more awkward because you don't know anybody, so yeah, that I learned recently. So, newer places don't mean newer experiences. It's a newer situation you're in. That's all it is, really. But by all means, travel the lengths of your city. Go into bars that you normally wouldn't go in, Put yourself in different situations, who knows? It could benefit you. Not me, but it could benefit you. So, I'll never tell anyone not to go anywhere. But in my personal experience, I just don't, doesn't work out. I think, and I said this before, I think when you connect with someone, it'll be kind of like that. Kind of like a drop of the hat scenario. It's not a waiting game. It's not like a hide and seek. Like, ooh, I'm going to check her out. He's going to check me out. Whatever. I feel like there's a direct connection right away. It might grow after that. And depending on how you go about it. Because the building blocks of a relationship is that awkward moments. Dating sites and just friends introducing to other friends is breaking the ice part, right? And some people connect right away. It just happens like magic. That you can't explain it. It just kind of boop, there you go, and it's magical. That's it. It's magical. It's fate, being in the right place at the right time. No divine intervention. It's just luck of the draw. That's how it is. And it could be, grand. It could be awesome, and other times it could be disappointing, Like I said, you'll know right away. I'm not even exaggerating. You'll know right away if there's a connection, because it's like that, kind of like when you try a new soap or something new you get your hands on, you're like, wow, this is great. You get that rush, like when you're unboxing something from Amazon, you know what it is, but it's in your possession now, and then the whole dating thing happens. After you get rid of that awkwardness, that first stage, you kind of develop that a dating style. Is that your that's your kind of goal there, like dates, movies, maybe a trip to the museum, I don't know, dinner, whatever, and then it grows on from that. I don't know, modern dating today, it's very confusing. I don't know, there's no instructions manual, so it could go either way, but yeah, it's a mystery, and I don't have the answers to that, unfortunately. But whatever's working for you, keep going. Yeah, you do you. It's fun. It's like playing a video game for the first time. You don't know the rules or the standards, but you try, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's like gambling, really. So that's that. Really don't have much to add to the whole dating scene, but like I said, it's complicated. It's could be difficult, sometimes it's right there in front of your face, and other times you just gotta keep looking, and like I said, it's fate, really, faith, I don't know. Move into that, though. That's a good segue. Alright, so I guess this is a kind of a ranting style podcast. I didn't really have a direction I was going in. I just wanted to kind of, enlighten you guys with a bunch of stuff I wanted to get off my chest. So, let's see, what else? What was it? I was about to say, oh yeah, faith. Not that I'm religious and I'm not religious, I respect religion, I do. Something that kind of brings order to certain people, and I know it's easier said than done. Now, if I'm speaking to an atheist, that would probably sound like insanity, I mean, when you're an outsider looking in, and you see organized religion, and, that kind of chaos surrounding it, because let's face it, not every religion is innocent, it's all corruptible, that's the man side of it, but you got to think of these supernatural elements, and every religion has it. When you look at the spirituality to like Native American shaman style religion, you might argue to the point, well, that's different, but it is, in a sense, they're worshiping sky gods, supernatural beings like the Wendigo or skinwalkers or stuff like that. Look at the Indian gods, there's a whole mass collection of Indian gods. Or if you look at paganism and Wiccan, they worship, the earth, the wind, water, sun, the pagans, most of our ancestors were pagans, believe it or not. We worship gods like, Zeus, Apollo, Aphrodite, the Christians today, they, the whole Jesus God thing, and the same thing with all the Judeo-Christian religions, Judaism, Islam, Christianity. They all have core values, and that's what I like about it. So, I'm not going to go into a lengthy discussion with religion. I'm just going to say that if you have it, and if it helps you stabilize your life and structure, it gives you structure, family guidance, all that stuff, then keep doing it. If you're searching for religion and unsure, it's a lot. There's a lot out there, My only issue with atheism is, number one, it's probably a huge weight, kind of off your shoulder. So that's a point to atheists, because, you just kind of live life in the moment. There's nothing holding you back, really. But I just can't accept that, I don't like to think and put in my head that this is it. Now, because, and hear me out. Now, imagine if you're not that successful of a person, okay? Because most atheists I've talked to are like, you've got to live in the now, you got to achieve your goals, because this is the only life you'll get. That's the reasoning, and that's the thesis behind atheism, So right now, this is it. One life, go for the gold. Well, once again, some people, imagine telling that to a homeless person. Hey, buddy, that's it. You're gone. You're going to die homeless. Like, that's it. There's no paradise at the end. And while that sounds like a fantasy novel, whether it be 72 virgins, peace in heaven, whatever, or you get to sit at the table, in Valhalla, whatever, I like that. I think that's cool. I like the notion of an afterlife. Because once again, I argue the point of, what if you're just not that successful, or your life is chaotic, and, there is that peace in death kind of thing. But once again, to the non-believer, that's the end of the road. That's it. That's hard for some people to accept. There was a French philosopher. His name was Pascal, I think. And basically, he had this wager thing, the Pascal's wager, I believe it was called. And so most philosophers back in the Renaissance were probably atheists, and because it was philosophy and science over religion, which also was very logic. But this guy, Pascal, was like, I'm going to believe as there was a God, that there is a heaven, because either way, if, there isn't a God and I die, nothing happens, I don't lose anything. But by believing, I die, I go to heaven, there's an afterlife, there's paradise. So, it's better explained online. So just look up Pascal wagers to, for a better explanation of that. But basically saying, despite everything, or the non-proof of religion, his argument was believing it in any way, because that what if, So that's that, But I never down anyone. You can believe in whatever you want, or in nothing at all. It's not going to ruin my day. It's not going to ruin your day. So, just keep doing what you're doing to get you through. Because, at the end of the day, you still got to wake up. You still got to keep going. Some people have the luxury, like I said, of just being, very well off, not having to worry. Some people worry, if they're going to make the rent this week, the bills, the simple things such as their phone bills, whatever, like I said, we're lucky enough, depending if you have the reach and the resources to do videos like this, to, platform yourself in YouTube or Instagram and, gain some funding after that. Because if you're a good storyteller, entertaining, that's half the battle, I do reaction videos and stuff like this too, and yeah, it's fun, it's great. It's kind of like, I remember the first time I got paid for playing music. It wasn't much, but it was very rewarding. So getting paid to watch music videos, or in this case talk, it's 50-50. You're not in it for the money, but it's not bad either, because when you roll it back, let's say you're a dishwasher or you put away stock, whatever, yeah, you're getting paid for that, but it's not the most exciting thing you could be doing, in your mind. That's productive anyway. But if you're a creator, a content creator, or a musician, or an artist, and someone buys into your artwork, that's very rewarding, because not only did you create that, you reap the benefits, man. Someone was interested enough to watch you, and you generate profit from that, or buy your product. So be proud if you have any ounce of creativeness, and it's not forced, and it's just you being you. So go you. A lot of self-doubt. I remember talking to a lot of females who were, in my eyes, did either girl next door or could pass as a supermodel, But there was always that notion of, oh, I could be better. I could do this. I could do this. The worst is usually comparing yourself to movie stars or reality show people like the Kardashians or whatever, But what I don't like now is it went from this self-loathing to now this female empowerment, which, once again, be happy, be proud of yourself, of your gender, how you represent yourself. No one's ever going to take that away from you. So go you. But don't ever down. Once again, the kickback to that is when you start to feel superior about yourself, it could inflict other people. Like there was a internet thing going on. This is old news, but it was like and this was directed towards women. Who would you rather be lost in the woods with? A bear or a man? And a lot of them picked bear, and they would argue their point like, well, at least a bear would kill you. A man in the woods, he's just gonna hunt you down and do weird shit to you. And first of all, what woods are you going in? Like the same woods the wrong turn was in? Like, like West Virginia? Like what? My point is this generalization that every man is just this fiend on the inside is kind of insanity. I mean, that's just, men could argue the same point of saying, every woman will, I don't know, or future wife will take her kids away or, clean you out if they divorce you. So you see what I mean? So what I'm getting at is just get along, whatever. If you don't like someone for who they are, that's your problem. I really can't change that. But don't judge a book by its cover, and don't generalize people. We got to stop that. We're way, way better than that. We're way past that now. It's like, the future almost, except the flying cars. They're not here yet. So, yep. I don't know where the hell we're heading. It's gonna be a weird year. I don't know. People always come to me, for answers and stuff, and hopeful remarks and quotes, and I try my best. If it's one thing I like doing, it makes me feel good about myself. The least thing I could offer to people, support. I like to believe I'm a good listener, and even though I don't look it, yeah, just making people laugh. I've upped my comedic skills, if you will. Not a comedian, but I like being funny in my way, and people enjoy that too. So I guess that's my thing. I like watching people have fun, on my behalf. If I can make them laugh or joke around with them, and they get a kick out of it, good. Because this is old quote. I think it was I'm not sure exactly said it, but I think it was off a movie. Anyway, if you know, if you laugh, the world laughs with you. If you cry alone. And I think it's a cool quote. And basically, you got to make light of any difficult situation. And that's hard to do because every situation bears its own weight, sometimes unbearable. But you gotta kind of shift gears a little bit. Like, okay, all right, I could be evicted in 2 weeks, but I could be in a desert with no water, and die really, really quick. It's not going to happen. It's probably not going to help your situation, but you'd be like, oh, well, that could happen. And, you makes you more grounded. You think a little bit like, how can I dig myself out of this situation, and you go on from there. Because life can be very serious all the time. I'm not saying don't take it seriously. No, take it very seriously. Like I said, do what you can to keep going. Because, odds are I don't mean friends or family or whatever, but I mean your support system fades away the older you get, kind of leaves you isolated. I mean, your dogs, your children will, your family members, some of them anyway, will love you unconditional. That's it. They will always be there. Your dog will always, be happy you're home. Your kids, I guess to a certain age, will always be there for you, always love you. Your spouses, maybe not. It depends. And I hate to make it sound like that, but it's just how it is. And it's even worse if you're a dude, because we have just mounting obligation to provide and do all these things. That's just kind of ingrained in our DNA. And even if we can't do them, we'll kind of fake it till we make it kind of deal. Whatever. Sure, I'll change this tire. Sure, I'll fix the pipes. I'll paint that wall. Whatever. And yeah, life is hard, and it's on both spectrums now, because on the flip side, I see a lot of women in leadership positions, which probably drives them crazy too. I mean, you go through what you thought was kind of like a home base, kind of a grand picture of what a family would look like. Man was always a breadwinner, wife would stay home with kids. That's kind of dated now, even though it works for some people. Good for you. But like I said, you gotta respect not boundaries, that's wrong. But like what people bring to the table in that sense. It could be love, compassion, things that might not resonate with certain people. They take that stuff for granted. Like, oh, it's just there. It's like when you buy water. This water will automatically quench my thirst because it's water. I'm not going to reuse this bottle at any point. I'm just going to drink the contents of it and throw it away. But, heck, you could put colored sand in it or paint it, whatever. It could be reused in a lot of ways. I don't know. My point is, the expectations we have put so much pressure on each other. It's madness. And it drives people apart. It makes two groups, the opposite sex, different races, hate each other. And we should probably maybe step back a little bit, come to reality. And, reality could be harsh, but you gotta kind of, like I mentioned at the beginning, that light at the end of the tunnel, it's there. Every year, it seems like it's going further back, but it's when you stop, and you stop trying to achieve that light. And that's the end, I think. What happens? You recede into the darkness, and it consumes you. And who knows where you'll end up with that. That was a weird analogy, but yeah, I hope you get what I'm saying. Yeah, I think I kind of covered everything I was going to say there. But yeah, times are tough, and sometimes you just, even when it doesn't look like it, someone puts on that tough guy act or tough girl act, whatever, you're not taking away anyone's independence or, their style of living or whatever, some people need help, and it could be settled just by talking to them, You ever talk someone down from something, and I'm not saying crazy stuff, I'm just saying, talking people out of bad decisions, maybe helping them decide on certain situations, stuff like that. It could, your words could be so detrimental to someone and, or beneficial to someone and, really help someone out, yeah. So, like I said, choose the wording. Choose the wording, because sometimes, what you say could be misinterpreted. And I've seen that happen a lot. So just, know the right time. I think people's body language kind of, gives you that signal. Like, okay, now I can interject. Now I can say something. Because this person maybe had let off steam. And now they're, trying to digress, and this is your opportunity to talk to them about whatever issue it is, or reach out to someone. It could be a simple thing as, hey, how you doing? Or, you want to talk about it, something, anything, I'm not saying be a therapist, just, compassion, it's scary. It's scary when I see people getting together out of, benefits, like, I don't mean sex, I mean, like, okay, if I date this person, I'll be well off. I don't necessarily love them, but I'll be better in life, I won't die alone, and I'll have money, or whatever, fancy cars, a ride, but it should be, because, think about it, the person you end up with, especially if it's a lengthy amount of time, you gotta love them. There just has to be some kind of compassion and feeling there. And I think that's what's missing in today's relationships. And, it's a hard journey. But, like I said, you just gotta kind of keep at it. I don't have any direct answers on where to find it, how to find love. I'm not a love guru, but, use your instincts. Keep searching, do whatever you can, search in usual places, man. I've heard crazy stories. People have met, their future wives at concerts, the park, a museum, doesn't have to be a club or a bar. Could be just walking down the street, your job maybe, who knows, a wrong phone call. Live in the moment, explore as much as you can, enjoy life. And like I said, try not to sweat the small stuff. I know that's, I should probably listen to my own advice there. But problems, issues, yeah, some of them will never go away. They'll always be there. But that shouldn't hinder you at doing what benefits you, your family, your friends. And, like I said, but most importantly, you, because you have to wake up and look yourself in the mirror every day, unless you don't have mirrors, but yeah, you're the backbone, you're the foundation of what completes the day. Believe it or not, you're important to someone, they might not show it, but yeah. Alright, guys, I feel like if I talk anymore, I'll just be rambling even more at this point. So, I hope you gain something from this. I'm an open book. Please throw me comments, even if they're negative, whatever, Let me know what you guys think. You guys like these things, first of all? I'm not a professional podcaster or whatever. Like I said, this is mainly a reaction or review channel. So, this stuff, few and far between, but when I talk, I feel like I know what I'm saying most of the time. So, correct me. My grammar's horrible. My speech is bad, but, I like sharing these things. And like I said, if you guys get anything out of this, I'm happy. Alright, well, that's all I gotta say. If you liked it, please do me that favor of like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. If you feel like supporting the channel at all, or want to recommend me something to review or react to, I'll leave a little link down below. Buy me a coffee. It's just another way you could go by that. And as always, my friends, see you all very, very soon. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening. Peace.